This next is a stepped fixed cost. Actually, I discussed this stepped fixed cost a little bit while I was explaining you the fixed cost thing. So step fixed cost, the concept is that the fixed cost after a certain period of time, it increases. I gave you that example that if I have one room in which I can, accommodate 20 students and I pay $100 rent. So what happens that I pay my fixed cost is $100 and I can, accommodate maximum up to 20 students there. So if I got 30 students, now I need to take a bigger room. So what happened that before I had a smaller room and I was paying $100 rent for that, and I can have only 20 students inside. Okay. So now if my number of students become 30, I cannot take everyone inside. So I need a bigger room now. And that bigger room probably has a rent of $150. So it means that from 0 to 20, my fixed cost is 100. But as the number of student increases to 30, my fixed cost will also go up to 150. So it means that fixed cost will increase with the level of activity at certain point in time, like variable cost continuously increase, but fixed cost remains same for a certain period of time and then it increases. And this is called step fixed cost, okay? Now you can read this explanation here, but let me show you how does it look like. This is how it looks like, the step fixed cost. So what happens that imagine that this is from 0 to 20 students, 0 to 20 students, and my cost is 100. Okay. So even if I have no student, zero, still I have to pay 100. For 5 students, 10 students, 15 students, 20 students, I have to pay until 100. But then what happens that when the number of students increase, my fixed cost goes to 150. So for 25 students, 27 students, or until 30 students, my fixed cost remains 150. Now, this bigger room can only take 30 people. If I've got 50 people or 40 people, then what happens? I need to take even a bigger room. And then the cost of the bigger room is $200. So from here onward, this further goes up. So fixed cost moves like this. This is called step fixed cost. So step fixed cost idea is that generally fixed cost remains same for a certain level of activity. For example, for this level of activity, from 0 until 20 students, the fixed cost is fixed here for $100. But then after this activity level changes, when you cross that boundary or cross that limit of 20, you need to take a bigger room and your fixed cost will further go up to $150. And then this bigger room can take only up to 40 students. Then if you have more than 40, you need even a bigger room. For that, the cost is $200, and this comes here, $200. This is the concept of fixed cost. This happens in most of the fixed cost. For example, rent of your office. You are a small company, you have a small office in which you can accommodate 15 staff members. You're a small company, 15 people. But as your company grows and you need more people in sales, you need more people in marketing, now you need a bigger office. And that bigger office probably will definitely will cost more and your fixed cost will go up. So this is the concept of stepped fixed cost. So it's quite simple and nothing more to explain. And this is actually the graph of the step fixed cost. Remember the fixed cost, average fixed cost. This is step fixed cost per unit, step fixed cost per unit. So this was for the first step. Remember, when you had fixed cost, the graph, average graph was going like this. So then you take this one, another comes like this. Then it goes this one, another comes like this. So this is my total step fixed cost. This is my average step fixed cost. That's the difference. This is the graph for the average, the cost per unit. This concept of average fixed cost, this graph, I already have explained you before. When we were doing the fixed cost thing, we did the average fixed cost. So if you think about this only, this is the graph of average fixed cost, which is like just this one. But when you have step fixed cost, so you will have several steps. And for each step, this is the average. Okay. That's the only difference. You can read it, whatever examples I already have given you, they are telling you the same example. Rent, supervisor salaries. Why supervisor salary? You have 10 people, and on 10 people you keep only one supervisor. But if you hire 20 staff members, now one supervisor cannot manage 10 people. Now you need to have two supervisors. Supervisor salary is a fixed cost. Okay, supervisor salary is a fixed cost, so now you need two supervisors, so we call it supervisor salary. And this is the average thing. It is given here, the same table. This is the total cost and this is the cost per unit. You divide these two numbers and you get the average. Just like we did before this calculate, we calculated this table before as well for fixed cost. It's the same thing. Next is mixed cost, or you call it semi-variable cost. This we do after a break.